we salute! From Gaza to Beirut! All our martyrs we salute! All our martyrs we salute! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free!
So they have blocked the road out here now. The traffic is being diverted by the protesters.
No war on Iran! 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 Right on! Hello everyone! My name is Laith, and I'm with the Palestinian Youth Movement. Right on! It is powerful to see everyone out here today demanding that our government stop spending our tax dollars on empire, on war, on crimes, on genocide, and they start actually funding the everyday needs of our people right here. That's right. In the middle of a genocide, in the middle of escalating attacks on our people here and across the world, we did not gather here in despair. We did not gather here in helplessness. We did not gather here to grieve. We gathered here because of a truth. Because the truth, there's a truth that has completely ripped the mask off of all of the lies. The truth that has exposed the corruption. The truth that has revealed the real agenda behind all of these powers. That the US regime is using our tax dollars to either fund the killing of children, to either fund the killing of fathers, of mothers, of their children, or to molest them right here in this country. That's right. The same people that claim to work, to move for the working people, they then gut labor protections. The ones who say they are kidnapping our neighbors to create jobs while investing in AI to erase those jobs altogether. The ones who brag that they are tough on crime, while they themselves are the criminals, habitual liars to their own people. Shame! The ones who brag, and the ones who lie, the biggest liar of all of them, the man in office in particular, who calls himself the president of peace, while continuing to arm and bankroll genocide in Palestine and threatening the destruction of an entire civilization in Iran. We say no, this is not peace, and we will never accept this. Palestine, we can see that Palestine is not living in peace, that Iran is not living in peace, that Lebanon is not living in peace, that Venezuela is not living in peace, that Cuba is not living in peace. And we know this. We know this as Palestinians. We know this as immigrants in this country. We know this because we have seen the authoritarian playbook before. We know that fascist empire. We know what fascist empire looks like because our families have survived its violence. We know its language, we know its machinery, and we know the cost of staying silent. And so we have to go further, and we have to reject that silence. Let us not just speak truth to power. Let us make sure that we build power through that truth. Let's make that truth real through organizing. Let's make it real through discipline. Make it real through strategy. Make it real through action, even in the face of what's coming, and we know what's coming. Even when the future feels uncertain, even when fear is everywhere, because the truth on its own, we know that it's not enough. Truth must move, truth must organize, truth must become power. And when we get organized, when we take strategic action rooted in truth, we can win, and we will win. Because there is only one way out of the empire of death. Only one way out of this machinery of destruction, and that is together, in solidarity, in joint struggle. Solidarity means understanding that surveillance technology that's used by Israel to hunt and murder Palestinians is the same machinery that is used by ICE to target immigrants here, and that is fed by the same systems of profit that are draining our water, that are destroying our communities, and that are sacrificing our futures. It means that seeing the girls' school in Iran bombed by US weapons, it is not in isolation. It is connected to the schools here that cannot afford to pay their teachers a living wage.
That's right.
It means that understanding that healthcare here is being gutted, while billions of our tax dollars are being sent to destroy hospitals in Palestine, in Lebanon, and in Iran. Shame! This is not separate. It has never been separate. For just like in the 1960s, when the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement understood that their struggles were bound together, when people found each other in community and fought together against the war in Vietnam, against the war on the people of South Africa through apartheid, against the war being waged on black communities here at home. They understood what we must understand now. That foreign policy is domestic policy. The empire abroad is violence at home. That the same hands that bomb, that cage, the same hands that occupy, that evict, the same hands that starve people, there abandon our people right here.
That's right.
And that this is why this is the only way through. That the only way through this all is together. Those in power want us to believe that history belongs to them, that they alone get to shape it, that they alone get to decide what is possible, that the future is theirs, but history is not theirs. We are gathered here today in truth with determination with each other to confront and challenge a corrupt ruling class that has mistaken our grief for weakness and our silence for consent. And the truth is that history will always be shaped by ordinary people who choose to fight together. History is shaped by people who refuse fear. History is shaped by people who stay organized. History is shaped by people who refuse to surrender their humanity to empire. History is not written by the powerful alone. History is written by us.
That's right.
And now it is on us to write that history and to write that future, one worthy of those who came before us, worthy of the children who will come after us. It is on us to write that history of courage. It is on us to write that history of change, of solidarity, of sustained strategic struggle. A history our children will be proud to inherit, because history is ours to write.
That's right.
So don't ever forget that. So say it loud and clear. Free! Free Palestine!
Free! Free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free! Free! Free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
Free! Free! Free Palestine!
Not another nickel, not another dime!
Not another nickel, not another dime!
No more money for Israel's crimes. Not another nickel, not another dime. No more money for Israel's crimes. No more money for Israel's crimes. No more money for Israel's crimes. No war on Iran. No war on Iran. No war on Iran. No war on Iran. From Gaza to Beirut, all our martyrs we salute. From Gaza to Beirut, all our martyrs we salute. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Stop bombing Iran now. Stop bombing Iran now. Stop bombing Iran now. Stop bombing Iran now. From DC to the Philippines. Stop the US war machine. From Iran to the Philippines. Stop the US war machine. 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 End the occupation. End the occupation. End the occupation. Up with liberation. Down with occupation. Up with liberation. Down with occupation. Down with occupation. Down with occupation. Down with occupation. Not another nickel, not another dollar. No more money for Israel's slaughter. Not another nickel, not another dollar. No more money for Israel's slaughter. 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 Not now, not ever, and never, ever again. So we're going to introduce our first line of speakers today. Our first speaker is Manad Al-Harzallah, who is the co-founder of the USBCN and co-convener of US Labor for Palestine. Please welcome Onda.
Thank you, Lays. Thanks for everyone who is with us today. Thank you for being here and stand up for justice. Stand up against the elites, the millionaires, the corporations, the occupations, the genocide. We're all here today as we gather, if some of you remember, as we gather every single year on tax day, and we gather here in front of the Israeli Consulate and tell them $4.3 billion a year is no more. We are here also since the genocide. You know how much money this genocidal state received from the US money, from the US treasurer, from the US citizen taxes, people's pockets, $16.7 billion Is this fair? Is this fair? I am a teacher, and I have to tell you that teachers had to struggle every single day in the classrooms, had to struggle and fight, in addition to the point that they had to strike to get a fair compensation, to get a fair health care, to get a fair work with their... We are supporting our teachers, our students, the whole education system, public education, healthcare, against all these demands for fueling the wars around the world, in Iran, in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Palestine, in Yemen, in Haiti, everywhere around the world. This government is surviving by genocide. They're surviving by blood. It's enough of that. Enough! We must hold our government accountable to every penny we pay for that. It's no longer, once they are investing in genocide, killing our children, demolishing our hospitals, destroying our universities, we say enough is enough. Enough! And this war that we are in, led by corporation and elitist and this lunatic in the White House. A war with no goals, a war with no benefit, a war with no interest to any of us working hard to make a living in this country. I would like to thank you so much for coming today, and I want you to say that we have just started. We have just started. We have a long way to go. We want to continue. We want to organize until we build power. Power for the people, power for the workers, power for the refugees, to start against ICE, against this military militias trained by the Israeli government. They are terrorizing our community, our immigrant community. I am very pleased to introduce our next speaker. I have to say that the people who are leading our revolution, the Palestinian revolution now, is the younger generation who is going to be leading us for victory, for a free Palestine. Please help me welcome the General Union of Palestinian Students representative, Sister Noura. Noura Garaja from Palestine.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Hello everyone, my name is Noura and I'm with the General Union of Palestine Students. For these past couple of years, and especially these past few weeks, we have seen some of the most disgusting parts of human history unfold. Israel continues to terrorize the world with their violent actions, violent words, and inherent violent existence. They continue the ongoing genocide in Gaza while also bombing Iran and using the same playbook they used in Gaza in Lebanon. Israel and the U.S., with complete immunity, continue to ruin land, lives, and people. We do not consent to our tax dollars going towards a terrorist state. Speak on it! That's right! We do not consent to our tax dollars to be used for ICE to terrorize our streets, and we do not consent to our money being used for their wars. That's right! Yeah. In this country, students cannot afford to go to college. Our professors are being fired, our classes are cut, and they say it's because we have no funding. How is it we can fully fund a terrorist state, but not our schools, not our health cares, and not our public transit? There's 900 US military bases around the world, and because that's not enough, we know they're also using Oakland Airport, a civilian airport, to ship military cargo to Israel. Shame! We know how our tax dollars are being used, and because of that, we know what our role is. Today is tax day and the day to take action and say no. Stop arming Israel, no to war, no to ICE. We demand a better life for people here and around the world. Money for jobs and education. Not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education. Not for war and occupation. Thank you and free Palestine.
Money for jobs and education. Not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education. Not for war and occupation. Not for war and occupation. We're going to be introducing our next speaker. Our next speaker is Akabunda Amazu, an organizer with the All African People's Revolutionary Party. So please welcome Akabundu.
Greetings, thank you so much. We're happy to be out here today. We want you to know that as we struggle, we also build, we also organize. We want to defeat our enemy, but we want to move forward. Let me give you just a little background. Today for Africa is a day that was called Africa Freedom Day. In 1958, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah brought together the 7 independent African countries, only 7. By 1963, there were 32 independent African countries. How did they get independent? They organized, they mobilized, they kicked the French out, the British out, all of them, the Portuguese. And they changed African Freedom Day to African Liberation Day. We want you to stick that in your head and remember that day. In 1958, Nkrumah also called for the All African People's Conference in Ghana. Guess who was there? Frantz Fanon, Patrice Lumumba. And as Fanon was representing the battle in Algeria in kicking the French out of Africa, as Lumumba was terrorizing Belgium as he sought independence in the Congo. And guess, we know what they do when they run into leaders that they cannot co-opt, that they cannot corrupt. They assassinate them. We saw them kill Lumumba viciously because he was organizing the people. And if you didn't know, it was over the uranium there in the Congo that they stole to build the bombs that they dropped on Japan. So Africa is at the center of this struggle. Don't get it twisted. We don't talk about it, but we are organizing. Our youth are organizing. Africa will be there and is a key player. Today, we see the Alliance of Sahel States. We recognize that that is a dynamic move because they kicked the French out. In Niger, the U.S. had just built the largest drone base in Africa, over $250 million. They kicked them out. They kicked them out. And this ploy to go into Nigeria, talking about they're trying to save people. Nowhere on the planet has the U.S. ever went in to save people. It saves the interests of its own wealth, of its hegemony in trying to control the world. So we want to recognize that the solidarity that is being shown out here today for the Palestinians, for the Cubans, for the Venezuelans, for all people who stand up for their sovereignty is our solution. We must stand together as has been stated. We must fight together. This is our solution, our unity and our togetherness. So again, we thank you for allowing us to have a presence to stand shoulder to shoulder with you in this battle against Zionism, against racism, against imperialism. Death to imperialism, down with Zionism.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. From the belly of the beast. Hands off the Middle East. From the belly of the beast. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. Yeah. Woo!
Thank you for the very, very powerful speech. Our next speaker is going to be Layla Dagani, an Iranian-American anti-war activist with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Please welcome Layla.
Right on.
From Iran to Palestine, bombing children is a crime.
Bombing children is a crime.
From Iran to Palestine, bombing children is a crime.
Bombing children is a crime.
As many of us likely know, the American government is spending more than $1 billion a day on an ongoing massacre in Iran. That money is taken from our pockets and is being used for stealing the future of young girls, orphaning children, making widows out of loved ones, forcing communities into darkness and grief, and destroying infrastructure that is vital to societal health in Iran, Lebanon, and Palestine. Trump's most recent budget proposal boasts a $1.5 trillion boost to the current defense budget. The proposed increase in military funding is contrasted with a $15 billion cut to the Department of Health and Human Services. Shame. In the world's richest country, Americans die in droves due to treatable diseases, while the president makes the largest request in military spending in decades. And the double standard of it is that the billionaire-backed politicians who started and are perpetuating this endless war are not those who will suffer under it. American working class people will be asked to send our loved ones to kill and die for the war machine, while we watch our gas prices skyrocket, cost of living skyrocket, our schools crumble, and our housing crisis worsen. While American people are one emergency room trip away from bankruptcy, we are watching our government to continue to throw money towards war that could and should go towards housing, healthcare, education, and reparations for infrastructure destroyed. Budget Director Russell Vought insists that Trump intends to, quote, make our nation safe in a dangerous world, end quote. The dangerous world in question being a world in which America is the only country in history to have used nuclear weapons in warfare. A world in which the United States funds massacres and starts unprovoked wars. A world in which the American military is the single biggest polluter on this planet. American empire is the biggest threat to life on Earth. Last year, the US government collected $2.6 trillion in tax revenue from individuals, then spent more than a third of that on war. Shame. Our tax dollars are being funneled into a machine that holds us hostage and forces us to watch destruction and genocide on our dime. We must act in proportion to the devastation we are seeing, utilizing what power we have. The same billionaires that want war in Iran are reliant upon our labor to keep this system running. A general strike is our greatest tool to become unignorable. That's right. When we strike together, we will win. Let us not forget that the Iranian Revolution of 1979 reached its zenith
when tens of thousands of oil workers went on strike and paralyzed the state. Here in the United States, in the belly of the beast, let us be inspired by the revolutionary spirit and steadfastness of the Iranian people, the Palestinian people, the people of Lebanon, and fight for justice, sovereignty, and a dignified life for all people. Another world is possible as long as we fight for it. I want you guys to repeat after me. End the wars. No ice. May 1st. General strike. End the wars. No ice. May 1st. General strike. End the wars. No ice. May 1st. General strike. Thank you.
All right, let's get the energy a bit up. Can you guys chant Free Palestine? Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Hands off Iran now! Hands off Iran now! Hands off Lebanon! Hands off Lebanon! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! End the occupation now! From Tehran to Palestine! Bombing children is a crime! From Beirut to Palestine! Bombing children is a crime! Bombing children is a crime! Bombing children is a crime! We're going to be introducing our next speaker. Our next speaker is Diana Block with Bay Area Cuba Solidarity. So please welcome Diana.
Cuba sí, bloqueo no. Cuba sí, bloqueo no. Cuba sí, bloqueo no. All right, thank you very much for having me here. I'm going to be short, but I think it's very, very important at this point in time to make the connections between what's happening, the attacks against Cuba's sovereignty, the suffocating blockade on oil, the slow genocide that the administration is trying to impose on Cuba. This is something that is part of the same imperial game plan as is happening against Iran, against Palestine, and we say against Haiti, and we say no. Cuba sí bloqueo no. Cuba sí bloqueo no. So since January 29, when the U.S. declared a total blockade on oil against Cuba, no oil has gotten to Cuba except a couple of weeks ago or last week, a Russian ship was able to get in. Think of the implications on the hospitals, on the daily life, what it means for Cuban people not to have any energy, to be shut down, and for what? Because Cuba has been a beacon, Cuba has been a leader in revolutionary struggle, in international solidarity, in showing the way to the world that another world is possible. Imperialist greed, colonialism, racism, sexism Those are all things that the Cuban Revolution has tried to address as part of its socialist project. And it has made huge advances and is a beacon for people all over the world. Cuba stands in solidarity with Palestine, with Iran, with Haiti. Cuba has never backed down from its core principles. And now, when they dare, Rubio and Trump, the demonic, diabolical duo, they are saying Cuba is next. It will fall. Don't believe it. It's all psyops. We need to stand and understand that the Cuban people say that they will fight. They will not surrender. This is not a case of they wave their military wand and people fall. The Cuban people have resisted U.S. imperialism since 1959 when the revolution started, and they will continue to resist. They will be a model of resistance, just like the Palestinian people, the Iranian people, the Haitian people. These are the truths and the models that we all have to follow and understand, and not let the defeatist approaches and the propaganda make us think that it's all over for Cuba. So I want to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm with the Bay Area Cuba Solidarity Network. We are part of many manifestations in solidarity with Cuba. The Bay Area, there was a big Bay Area contingent for the convoy, where hundreds of people from all around the world on just a few days' notice came to Cuba. There's going to be a huge May Day rally. Pay attention to what happens there. People all around the world are standing with Cuba, just like they're standing with Palestine and against the war in Iran. So thank you very much. Cuba sí, bloqueo no, venceremos.
Right on!
And we know that the continuation of genocide in Gaza and the world's failure to stop it is the reason that the US and Israel feel emboldened to continue their path of domination through their crimes. We stop empire not just by stopping empire, by fighting them there. We do it by fighting here too. The US stole Venezuela's oil, toppled its government, and is blackmailing countries to end Cuban medical missions to further isolate the island, and is continuing to blockade Cuba, causing unprecedented shortages throughout the country and electricity blackouts. This is what empire does in its purest form, and we keep seeing this time and time again. Shame! The US is currently attempting to install their favored politician in Haiti through intimidation, deploying warships to further destabilize the country that has faced the brute force of empire for centuries since it was liberated from colonialism. You have people like Hegseth and the Pentagon going to Congress or going to the White House and asking for $200 billion to fund wars in the military. You have Trump and his administration requesting that the defense budget be revised for next year to be $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion, where does that come from? It comes from people like you and I, who are forced to pay our taxes, that end up going to massacring children, to blockading Cuba or Haiti in intimidation tactics.
That's right.
Meanwhile, we have poverty here, people that are houseless. We can't have adequate Medicaid, medical care for our children. Tuition, housing prices are through the roof. And they want to spend $1.5 trillion to kill children abroad? Is that okay? Are Are we okay with that?
No!
Will we let them continue?
No!
Will we rise up?
Yes!
Will we take a stand?
Yes!
Will we make sure that no matter where imperialism is touched, no matter where imperialism touches, that we will be at the forefront in confronting them? Whether that be Palestine, Lebanon, Iran, Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela.
That's right!
It is all connected. Our next speaker today is going to be talking about some of those connections. Our next speaker is Judith Merkinson, who's a member of Haiti Action Committee and the National Lawyers Guild. Please welcome Judith.
Hi, everybody. I know many of us have spent last night or the last couple of weeks doing our taxes, and it's a very hard thing to do because we know that our money is going to kill people. That is not what we want. I mean, we don't want to pay to the U.S. government under any circumstances, but we certainly don't want it for that. And, you know, we've talked a lot about the military budget, but we haven't talked about why. And the reality is that this country is built on militarism, on war, and on weapons. And if you have an economy that's built on war, you have to have wars. You have to sell weapons in order to replenish and keep it going. And the reality is that there are big wars and small wars. The money doesn't all go just to bombing people. It goes to sell weapons so that other people can bomb people. It goes to buy weapons and distribute them all over the world. The weapons industry in the United States is one of the biggest in the world. And you know, our military budget is bigger than every other country's combined. And so there are many, we see the war in Lebanon, we saw the war in Iran, in Palestine, but we also see smaller wars that maybe we're not doing directly, but we're paying for, or we're paying for other people to do. And all of this is part of empire.
That's right.
They're bombing in the Philippines. They're bombing in Myanmar. They're bombing in Kurdistan. They're bombing in Latin America, of all the places. And wars don't have to look exactly like they do in Lebanon or in Iran. They can look like what they do in Haiti, which has been occupied for centuries, as he said, but particularly since the 2004 war against President Aristide. Since then, there has been an occupation by the UN, and now there is an occupation by so-called gangs that are really death squads funded by US weapons. There are more than hundreds of thousands of weapons in Haiti coming from the United States. The situation there is a situation of terror and violence. Haiti calls itself the laboratory. What happens in Haiti first then goes to other countries. Today, there is no government that's real. The US is trying to impose yet another false government. 1.5 million people are internally displaced. Half the population is on the brink of what the UN calls food insecurity. We know what that means. And throughout the country, day after day, there are massacres. Yesterday, there was a massacre in the farming region of Haiti that killed 80 people. Another day, there'll be a massacre when 7 people are killed. This is a war. This is a war that Haitian people call a slow motion genocide. And what is happening in Haiti, the violence that we see, the move to get rid of the government in Venezuela, the move here happened in Haiti first. And so we have to look at the Caribbean as one of the vital parts of empire, certainly in the US, and we have to be in solidarity with this first Black republic in this hemisphere and throughout the Caribbean. So when we think of wars, let's think of the whole world, that the war there, yes, is here and is throughout Latin America. End the occupation of Haiti. Haiti will be free. U.S. out of Haiti. Haiti will be free.
U.S. out of Haiti. Haiti will be free. U.S. out of Haiti. Haiti will be free.
The other thing I want to say is that this is the situation that Haitians are being told they should go back to. 500,000 Haitians are slated to be deported. 350,000 of them are in what's called TPS, Temporary Protective Status. Tomorrow, the U.S. Congress will be voting on whether to extend TPS. And on April 29th, it stayed for the moment. On April 29th, the Supreme Court will ultimately decide the fate of 350,000 Haitians and then 150,000 more that were slated for deportation. So as we march to the ICE building, we have to think of the 1 million people who are threatened to go back because their TPS has ended. We have to think of all the people who are under threat under ICE. And so we combine, we know that the wars that we are conducting are what's creating the empire that we are part of, is what's creating the immigration, so-called immigration crisis. So it's all one ball of wax, and that is why we're here today. And it behooves us, as we see the bombs falling in Iran, to create an even bigger and broader and more militant movement, and I hope we will do so.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. That's the whole point.
When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? When Haiti is under attack, what do we do? When Haiti is under attack, what do we do? When Iran is under attack, what do we do? When Iran is under attack, what do we do? When Lebanon is under attack, what do we do? When Lebanon is under attack, what do we do? When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? I said, what do we do? I said, what do we do? So let's make it loud for the Zionist Consulate for one last time before we start to march to the ICE building.
Yeah.
Trump and Bibi go to hell.
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 It's our right to rebel.
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 Trump and Bibi go to hell.
Trump and Bibi go to hell.
Zionism go to hell.
Zionism go to hell.
Israel can 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 go to hell.
Free, free Palestine.
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 From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
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 Right on. We got word that there are actions happening in 40 locations across the United States today. So this is what it is. We're organizing step by step. We ask folks in the back to start to line up as we continue to chant, and we're going to start marching.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
Boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
U.S. out of everywhere.
Everywhere.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. So we're gonna ask if everyone can please go behind the banner where we'll begin to march.